Thank you. Stand up, Mr. Ross. It is always a heavy heart that comes to a case that involves young people. There's nothing worse for us as a community and us as a people, let alone as those who are family members and are missing those crucial parts on everybody. To lose 2 lives forever and a substantial part of another. We gain nothing. We just lose. Mr. Ross, there's lots of people who've written about the grief and loss, especially when one loses a child or a brother, or a person who's become a brother. One I read recently talked about the memories of those that we love stay with us, but it's the emptiness for the memories that don't exist, for the conversations that never get to happen, the emptiness of celebrations that never occur. It's that emptiness that those who are left with that grief find just to be a vacuum in who they are. It never, ever can be filled. And in so many ways, your decisions have left your family in the very same situation. The actions that early morning, every one of them, have devastated and left people empty and scarred, and that will not go away, Mr. Ross. And that was because of the decisions you made. I do not know where whatever gun was used that night is. I don't know where Mr. Clark's phone is that maybe could have told us more about what happened. I do not know why so many shots were fired and how many of those shots occurred while people were running or had their backs turned. But it paints a horrible, horrible picture. One of fear and of terror and unmitigated loss. You heard from one of the moms who talked about how her son is going to walk across the stage and how part of what he's going to do is be carrying Devin Clark with him. You're going to spend a substantial time in jail. You are still going to be able to at least talk to your family. And someday, potentially, you will see them, be able to touch them again, to be able to sit down and celebrate life with them. Devin will never, ever have that opportunity. He will never have the opportunity to be there for the people in his life who need him. And there's nothing that can fill that void and that emptiness that is left by your actions. I'm going to sentence you today to a sentence that will not make any of that go away. But you have a choice, much like you did that night, as to what's going to happen from here on forward. In your life that you live, even if it's in custody, even if it's in prison, you get to choose whether that life is a reflection of you trying to fill some of the space that now is empty by being something more than just a convicted murderer. And that's a decision you'll have to make. But understand that is a huge burden you're carrying today. And I hope that unlike that evening, you make the decision to do the right thing, to find the light, to hopefully find faith that in the end maybe is the only comfort. I will find, Mr. Ross, that you are a level 1 with no prior convictions. This is a B1 second-degree murder conviction. I will sentence you to 240 months minimum to 300 months maximum. You'll be given credit on this for any time you have already served. I will order that you receive a psychological evaluation when you get to Central Regional Prison, whenever that is going to be. And I will order that you receive any and all psychological assistance, as well as any educational or vocational training that's available. All right, Mr. Trapp.
When Mr. Ross first was incarcerated, he was in juvenile and then got transferred when he was an adult. And I would ask that all jail fees be waived, considering his substantial sentence.
I will do that, as well as any attorney fees that will be remitted. Mr. Trapp, you'll file that through the Capital Defender's Office.
Oh, I was retained.
You retained?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Mr. Trapp, is there anything else you'd like to put on the record right now?
Hold on 1 second. Just want to make sure I got my client's permission first. Yes, at this time, now that he has received his judgment and his sentence, he will give an oral notice of appeal.
I'm assuming that at this point, Mr. Ross would be unable to retain counsel for this?
That's correct.
I will appoint the appellate defender to represent Mr. Ross for his appeal. I will let the appellate defender's office file whatever necessary requests there are at this time.
Nothing further from the defense, Judge.
All right. Anything else for the state?
Your Honor, as to the remaining count, I would ask if we could set that for the March administrative session, which is our next homicide scheduling conference with Judge Bedore. Now,
I think I'm correct in assuming the appellate defender is probably going to request a transcript, but it may also be, are you, the state, requesting a transcript at this time to be provided to you and the defense?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. I will order that that be done. I will sign whatever needs to be done in order to get that prepared and get that finalized.
Thank you.
Ms. Trapp, you're going to be continuing your representation of Mr. Ross at this time on the remaining count?
I will be in conversation with Mr. Ross and his family, but I believe so.
All right, excellent. What I'm going to ask at this time, Mr. Ross, we're going to take you in back into custody at this time. I'm going to ask everybody else at this time, I need you to stay seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to have you go back to your jury room for a couple of minutes so I can speak with you. I'm going to ask that our alternates also be escorted back to that particular room, at which time I will tell you right now, officially,